Well, it's the most intense flu season in 15 years, and the virus is causing more severe complications and hitting young children especially hard. The CDC says 370,000 people have been hospitalized this season, and that's on pace to surpass the previous high in 2017. Let's bring in now our friend Dr. Ian Smith with what the symptoms are and why complications are so severe this season. Welcome back. Always really nice to have you.
Always good to see you.
So this time it's a little different because it's hitting infants and children especially hard.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty bad, and it's a combination of reasons. One is because people are not getting vaccinated. That's an issue. Reasonable doctors have been saying this for the last several years. So vaccines go down, more infections happen. The other thing is that the vaccine we particularly have is not as effective as it usually is, so that becomes a problem. The third thing is that these particular strains tend to be more virulent. They're more aggressive, just in general. No one can control that. And the last thing is we're just coming out of COVID. And so during COVID, everyone was practicing safe distance. You know, we were washing our hands and being very careful. Now that we're not in those that COVID bubble anymore, people unfortunately are sharing respiratory droplets via the air or on surfaces, and this is what happens.
It's a little scary.
It is, but get vaccinated.
Yes. Another illness that's alarming right now is this measles outbreak,
yes,
which is pretty crazy. So far, 58 cases have been reported, and it's rising. What should we know about this trend? And if we're already vaccinated, should we be getting a booster?
Yeah, well, this is a problem. I mean, because measles, because of the MMR vaccine, has pretty much been largely dormant for most of the country. And now we're seeing people are not getting vaccinated, so there are more cases of measles. However, if you were someone who got your MMR vaccine between the years of 1963 and 1968, you should definitely think about getting another dose. If you are someone, for example, who you already have 2 doses of the current, you should be fine. And then if you're someone, about less than 1% of people will have what's called waning immunity, and they may need to have another shot. Most people are going to be protected. The vaccine is very effective. My goodness, up to 98% effective rate when you take both of the shots. So,
what if you don't remember back to the 60s, like you were a child or something, you don't have the records?
Go get it. It doesn't hurt to get one more dose. It will not hurt you. That's a good question.
Okay.
People should go back.
I have no idea which vaccines I know. I took a whole bunch when I was really little, but
right.
It's hard to remember, and I've lost all the paperwork.
Yeah.
A study released showing that juice cleansing is actually not as good as we thought, huh?
Well, first of all, let's just say it's a very small study. It's about 14 people, so we don't want to draw big conclusions. However, what it's basically saying is that when you're just juicing, there's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of natural sugar in juices. So the problem with eating a lot of sugar at the exclusion of other important nutrients can become problematic. This study is saying it can affect your gut microbiome. That is, those are the microorganisms that live in all of our guts that we actually need to have healthy guts. And so just eating sugar may not help that. Also, you're not having things like soluble and insoluble fiber, which is very important because when you juice, even though fruits and vegetables have fiber in them, when you juice, you tend to lose a lot of those nutrients. And so just be careful. I mean, it should not be something that you do for a very long period of time.
You hear these stories about people who lose weight maybe during the week that they're juicing, and then they gain it all back plus
of course.
some
It's
and
a
can't lose
low-calorie diet.
Yeah.
It's like Ozempic. It's a low-calorie diet.
Okay, and you came in, you showed us a couple recipes from your new book, Eat Your Age.
Yep.
It's amazing. We've all made some of the recipes at home. They're easy, they're fun, they're nutritious, delicious. Share a couple tips on healthy eating that we can all apply today.
Yeah, so I showed you guys the recipe book, the Eat Your Age official recipe book, but the main book has come out since I was last here.
Oh, okay.
And I did 2 things. One, people were asking me, why is it that I can't still eat what I did in my 20s and 30s while in my 40s and 50s? Why am I moving differently? So I started a Facebook group. The name of the Facebook group is called Eat Your Age. So if you're at home, you want to join us. We got several thousand people join. That's the first thing, to join our group, Eat Your Age. But the second thing was in the book. I wanted to break down for people, what are your top 10 power nutrients for each decade of your life, starting in your 30s, going all the way to your 60s plus. What are your best and safest exercises? What medical tests do you need? What conditions are lurking around the corner? And then at the end of each decade, I do a 30-day customized meal plan so that you can incorporate all those power nutrients back into your program. People are making the mistake of not making adaptations as they age. They are trying to eat and move the same way they did in their 20s. And the body, the body gets older, which is not a bad thing, but you have to make adjustments. And so this book teaches people what are these nutrients, what do they do in your body, and then what are the sources in foods.
It's really super useful information, and it's something for everyone. It's easy to understand and really, really helpful. Thank you so much for being here. We always love seeing you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, the book is Eat Your Age. It is out now, and we thank Dr. Ian Smith as always. Let's go over now to Amy Johnson to see what's coming up on the 10 at 10.